All right, guys, welcome back. I'm going to do a little bit more of this vocab.com. I'm going to do a little bit in this episode of less stressful. That last one was stressful. Oh my goodness, the time crunch. And maybe I'll do another one of those games, but I'm going to do a couple words that are just, this is the ones that I'm working on mastering. It's kind of cool because you do a bunch of repeat things on it, so you really get a good handle, excuse me, on the different vocab words you're using. So this one says, Mirza writes about family life with the wisdom, insight, patience you would expect from a mature novelist, adding a final masterpiece to her blank. But this is fortunately just the start of an extraordinary career. So masterpiece to her blank. I'm thinking it's, I was going to say repertoire, canon, that works. So it's definitely canon. One tricky thing about this app, and I'll warn you, you don't click the answer and then click like accept or submit. You click the answer and then that's it. So if you click wrong, like no go, you missed it. So, all right, so vociferous. This is a word that I've been working on and I'm not 100% on the definition. I know it's not tepid or humdrum, which are kind of similar words. They mean sort of just bland. So it's between, that's my 50-50. So I'm between erroneous and raucous. And I'm 99% sure it's not erroneous. I think vociferous is like if someone is very vociferous, they're being sort of loud and raucous, boisterous. So I'm going to go with raucous, and that's correct. And then sometimes I like to read these. Vociferous describes a loudmouth, such as a vociferous mob at a soccer game. Comes from the Latin vocifare, meaning to shout or yell. So vociferous. All right, let's do another one. Aversion. This is an easy one. Aversion, the act of turning yourself away, arriving at a new stage, a stare of amazement, and a widespread outbreak of an infectious disease. No, it's the act of turning yourself away. So if you're averse to something or you have an aversion to, say, let's say you have an aversion to like cooked vegetables. Like me, I have an aversion to cooked vegetables. I see cooked vegetables and I go, wah. I have an aversion to them. I still eat them because of health, but I still have an aversion to them. Onions, no way, no how. My TV blanked out. I don't know what's going on. If you have an aversion to something, you have an intense dislike. And commonly it's food. Hey, look at that. That's what I said. But you could have an aversion to black and white movies, driving with the windows open and talking calls from salespeople. Yeah. All right. So Graham didn't mention Paul directly in his announcement Monday, but he blank to conflicts with rival lawmakers. And without looking, I think it's going to be something like he alluded to. Oh, look at that. There it is. Alluded. Yes. Allude to something you don't identify it or mention specifically. You allude to it as the fact that a cop is sitting right behind you. Your friends might stop talking about their plans to rob a bank. I like this site because they have some fun sort of definitions. So it's cool. And you learn like history. Allude is from the Latin alludere, to play with or to joke. Interesting. Ludere is to play. Very cool. All right, let's see one more, and then I might try another one of those things. Strip the leaf, reave. Ooh, wow. I don't know this, but I think strip the leaves or branches from. No, wrong. No. Oh, I'm just guessing now. Steal goods. To plunder. Oh, reavers. I should have known that. I knew that. I was just being too quick. All right, let's go to play. Let's see if I can get in on. I was going to try to get on the word jam. I missed it by like 30 seconds. Oh, well, I'll keep doing a couple more of these, especially since I just missed reave, and that's not that difficult of a word. Come on, Mr. Collins. All right, Greece rang with stories of his blank wit. Oh, okay, it's talking about someone. And every bitter saying became fathered on Diogenes. Fathered, every bitter. I can understand this sentence. Greece rang with stories of his blank wit. Altruistic, mordant, igneous, forensic. Now this is interesting. And every bitter saying, so I'm going to assume it has some sort of, it's got to be synonymous with bitter, I'm thinking. So maybe mordant. Because igneous, I think, is Altruistic is not. I don't think. I'm going to say mordant. I could be wrong here, but let's go for it. No? Okay, good. Mordant is like dark, particularly grim or dark, bitter. That's where that came from, yeah. Bite into something. Mordant comes from the Latin mordere, meaning to bite or sting. Interesting. All right. If you blank something, it gives you a feeling of complete hatred. You might loathe is the word that comes to mind. Your worst enemy. So this is a spelling word, so I can listen to it and sort of like cheating.
Abhor.
Abhor. So it wasn't loathe, but it's definitely a synonym. Abhor is easy to spell. A-B-H-O-R. If you abhor something, it gives you a feeling of complete hatred. Chances are you abhor the kid who used to torture the frogs in biology class. Yikes. Abhorrere, to shrink back in horror, Latin. And loathe, there it is. It's even stronger than loathe. Oh, okay. I abhor that man. I abhor spinach. You wouldn't necessarily say that unless you tend to express yourself in highfalutin terms. Now, highfalutin, there's a word. Mastered an A word. Look at that. Go, Mr. Collins. All right, in this sentence, convex. So I need to read it. If I turn my head so that the white wings framing my face direct my vision towards it, I can see it as I go down the stairs. Round, convex, a pure glass like the eye of a fish, and myself in it like a distorted shadow, a parody of something, some fairy tale figure in a red cloak, descending towards a moment of carelessness that is the same as danger. So concave is like this, convex is like this, like an eyeball. So bulging seems like the first one, and bulging outwards in a curve is convex. The surface of soccer balls, old television screens like the one I'm on now, convex. Okay, easy. Verbivore. I'm a verbivore. Look at those. Look at that guy. He's definitely verbivacious. That's not a word. Maybe it is. Miss Krenzel, on the other hand, was inspired by a different archetype. Kind of mystic, like Galadriel, the elf in The Lord of the Rings. All right, in this sentence, archetype means the respect with which one person is held. Something that serves as a model. Ding, 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 a distant feature or element in a problem. Nope, an English. So something that serves as a model is an archetype. Perfect example of a model or something. If you have long blonde hair, a sparkly ball gown, and a fairy godmother, you're the archetype of a fairy tale princess. Carl Jung, yes. In psychology, Carl Jung, an archetype is an inherited pattern of thought derived from the past experiences, the whole race, blah, 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 blah. Okay, good. But was it a blank human, like a Neanderthal, or a modern human? So archaic, it looks like is going to be the answer because it's long past. You were referring to something outmoded belonging to, and I was going to say that question didn't seem very good because archaic, generally, I don't know, you think about archaic words that we don't really use so much anymore, or ideas that are archaic. Yeah. Something that belongs to an earlier antiquated time. Yeah. All right, I've finished this round. Let's do one more round. I was also quite religious, and the party's blank to religion put me off. This is going to be antipathy, I think, because favoritism, fealty is like faith. Omen is totally different. Omen is like a sign of something, impending doom. Favoritism is obviously it's antipathy. That means sort of their negative feeling, deep-seated dislike of something or someone, usually a condition that's long-term, innate, or pretty unlikely to change. Your antipathy, so if you're a Yankees fan, you hate the Red Sox. Your antipathy for the Red. Okay. The opposite of aggrandize. So aggrandize is like if you, I believe, and let's see if I can get it wrong, but it's like when you puff yourself up and make yourself and something you did sound better than maybe it was. So the opposite of aggrandize would be to minimize. Deodorize. Yes. You are aggrandizing. Yes, a window washer. I love this one. If you are a window washer, but you refer to yourself as a Vista Enhancement Specialist, you are aggrandizing your job title. I love it. That's why this site's great. It's got some good, almost fell. Close to 9% of those had findings that were overstated in the study summary called an abstract. Okay, in this case, an abstract is a synopsis. Abstract can have sort of different meanings. In this case, it's a synopsis. Something that is not material. That's the normal definition of it, but it can also be used as a noun. That's what I was going to say, a noun, especially in the phrase a sketchy summary of the main points we're narrowing. Okay, well, there you go. All right, let's move on. The coming of age novel is obsessed with this process. I have no clue. The blatherskite, the coming of age novel, is obsessed with this process. The coming of age novel is obsessed with this process. The only word that I know a blunderbuss is a type of gun. And I know baccalaureate is like a word that you think of international baccalaureate. So I'm going to say baccalaureate only because you think about baccalaureate in education. So I don't like using cheats, so let's try it. Oh, wrong. Maybe it's blatherskite and it's just something I don't know. No? Bildungsroman. Okay, this is a new word. And if you know Bildungsroman, hats off to you. Pen a novel that follows the moral and psychological development of a character from youth to adulthood, and you've written a Bildungsroman. How do you say it? We need to listen to this one. Turn on spoken.
Spoken audio is now on. Question 4. Press the R key to repeat the description. Spoken audio off.
I don't want to hear spoken audio. I want to hear you say this word, Bildungsroman. That's the craziest word I've ever heard in my life. I said I was going to be done. All right, let's do the last one. I think this is the last one. If you have a blank to something, you have an intense dislike for it. Toddlers often have an aversion.
Aversion.
Yeah. S-I-O-N. Da-dun, da-dun-dun, da-dun-dun. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I know this one might have been a little bit more boring than the last one because I was just sort of going through the slow play. But hopefully you enjoyed it. Next time, maybe I'll do a vocab jam if you guys are interested in it. This is more of like what I typically do, this play round where in the challenge where you just go through and master certain words. I find it very sort of soothing, calming in it, and it helps me with my vocabulary skills. So anyways, TV wants to be done. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.